What's up, vinyl community? Brother James SD with my first record room tour and record discussion. You know, I watch a lot of record videos. You know, I take a lot of time to check people out and check out everybody's collections. You know, living vicariously through everybody's collections that I see on YouTube. So I decided to do one. But there's a few people that I want to give some acknowledgement to, give a shout out to that I like to catch, you know, as often as they put videos out. And first, it's Secretary of Funk. I think he's from DC. I really like what he does. Also, Daryl D. I think he's got a real good channel. Check him out if you haven't seen him yet. And there's another channel. It's called Foundations with Jay Quan. As far as hip hop history, bar none. He's one of the most informative channels that I've ever seen. So, you know, I took what I've learned from a few people and decided to put one together myself. So hopefully you enjoy, and let's get to it. I'm going to start with this corner here. This poster is from Reggae Sunfest 95, and my wife and I went on our honeymoon in Jamaica, and we attended this concert. It was a 3-night concert, and we went to one night. We had a real good time together on our honeymoon, so that's an important poster to me. And here, got my Shepard Fairey Obama poster from 2013, and this one here, it's a Led Zeppelin bootleg. It's a Led Zeppelin live in San Diego from 1977. It's a terrible recording, but it's from San Diego, so I had to have it. Okay, now we come over to this tambourine. This tambourine has some artwork on it painted by Pete Escovedo. He's Sheila E.'s father, and you know, incredible drummer, incredible band. We went and saw them when they were in San Diego, and he signed it for me, and I met him. He's a real good dude. Okay, so now let's move up here. These 4 records are my most important records to me personally. This first record here, Secondhand Smoke, Big Dogs. This is the record from my cousin MC Mark, who passed away in 1999. And there's a song on here called Watch the Styles that's a monster. You know, real good, solid hip hop song. He, you know, dude had skills. You know, I miss him every day. And this one is my holy grail. This is the Cosmic Punk Jam by the Cosmic Force. My cousins, Queen Lisa Lee and Phil Counts, aka Baby Biggs, did this record. This is a Japanese bootleg, so the record never came out. It got bootlegged, and funny story is, you know, I never thought that I would have this record, but it was on my want list on eBay. And one day, one pops up on eBay, and I'm just like, oh man, I gotta have that record. So I watched for about 5 days, and there was one other person bidding on it. And I was telling my wife, I can't lose this record, because I feel like if I lose it, I'll never get a chance to own it again. So that was the only record that I've ever bid an outrageous amount on. I bid an outrageous amount, but it really didn't cost me that much, because the dude really didn't, he didn't put in a ridiculous amount. So I basically won it for a very reasonable price, and that is a straight wall hanger. And I can't wait to see Lisa and have her sign it. It's a good record. This one here is another Africa Bambaataa Zulu Nation Throwdown. This one is autographed to me by Lisa Lee. It says Zulu Queen Lisa Lee 2014, peace, unity, love, and having fun, to Brother James. So that's an important record. And this is a record by Phil Counts. This is my cousin, rest in peace. This is Lisa Lee's brother, aka Baby Biggs, and this record is called Reggae versus Rap, and he's on there with a reggae artist named Alpha Romeo. So it's a good record. So this is my family wall right here. Okay, now we move around to this poster. This is when I went to the J. Rue the Damager concert. DJ Sweet Chuck, my man, was DJing, so that was a good night. Met a few of my met a few of my old friends there, you know, so we had a really good time that night. Now, I'm going to start here. This is my Michael Jackson Off the Wall record, autographed by the one and only Quincy Jones. Okay, so we were in LA for an event. Kamasi Washington, he had a film. You know, Kamasi Washington is a jazz musician, and he was premiering a short film, and it was the same night as the Quincy Jones event. And just in case, I took a record with me, just in case I ran into Quincy Jones. So it's kind of interesting because it's the same night that I met Brad Pitt, and it was kind of bugged out because all of a sudden Brad Pitt walks by, and so he was a good dude. I got a picture with him, and he took a picture with my kids, so that was cool. But on my way out, here comes Quincy Jones. Somebody's pushing him in a wheelchair, and we made eye contact. And you know, I've met some people, but when I saw Quincy Jones, it's like his whole discography flashed before my eyes, and I was truly starstruck. I mean, I thought about, you know, a lot of the records, a lot of my favorite records that Quincy Jones has done, and I saw him, he saw me, and the funny thing about it is when I approached him, my mother was in a wheelchair, and I was pushing her, and he commented on her shoes. He's like, hey, I really like your shoes. So he's, you know, having a conversation with my mother about her shoes, which is real cool. He signed my Off the Wall record, and he was really excited. He talked about Michael Jackson and how he enjoyed that record as well. This record here is my, you know, sort of my homage to my era, right? The Yo MTV Raps era. This is Dr. Dre and Ed Lover, Back Up Off Me. That's one of my favorite covers. He's got the gun-shaped microphone. This record here is Jean-Michel Basquiat record cover for Beatbox with K-Rob and Ramellzee. That's probably one of my favorite hip-hop records. I've got several copies. I don't have an original, but I do have the white label or the promo copy on Profile, and I also have a few of these copies that were put out probably in the early 2000s or something like that. Just Ice, Back to the Old School. That is my favorite record. Well, I keep saying that, but I have a lot of favorite records. But in terms of hip hop, early on when this one came out, it was my favorite hip hop record. You know, Just Ice, I felt like, you know, he's a monster. He's a beast. And the production by Mantronix is unmatched. Okay, so that's a good record. And I got a story about that one a little later on when I start sharing my other records that I want to sit down and talk about. Okay, this record, and I got a story about this one too, but this record is Ramellzee. It's called How's My Girlfriends, and it is in a box set called Cosmic Flush, and we'll talk about that later. But anything by Ramellzee, I'm going to buy, right? And I don't have everything that Ramellzee put out, but I've got most of it. There are still a few pieces that I want, not necessarily because of, you know, his records. I just appreciate him as a visionary. I like some of his records. Some of them are a little bit, you know, like not really my taste, but, you know, look at that cover, man. He was doing those Transformers before Transformers. And we went to his art show up in LA, and he has his skateboards with wings on them, and he's just an incredible visual artist, and his sculptures are unbelievable. Okay, so rest in peace, Ramellzee. And let's pan back around here to the top. These are my East Side Story records. Okay, they've since repressed all these, so you can get these in the reissues, but these are original East Side Story records, and these are Lowrider, like oldies. They're just oldie compilations with some classic pictures on the covers. And I remember hearing that they were going to do a documentary on the photos, but I haven't heard anything about it. But I hear that there is going to be a documentary on the photos for the East Side Story. So oldies, Lowrider oldies, a lot of classic hits on these records. Okay, now let's move over to this wall. These two, this is my Live Convention 81, and my live Convention 82. These are basically sets, live sets. One is Grandmaster Flash, the Convention 82 is Grandmaster Flash, and the live Convention 81, I believe, is Lightning Lance. And these are just sets with, I think Shaw Rock is rhyming on one, and a few people are rhyming on the other ones. But these are, you know, it took me a minute to find both of these, but you know, I enjoy those old mixes very much, those old sets. This record here is called Free Bobby Now, and it's by a group called the Lumpin'. These were Black Panthers who put this record out, and they put it out when Bobby Seale was in jail, okay? And the name of the record is called Free Bobby Now. And the interesting thing about this 45 is it's the only release on Seize the Time on Black Panther Productions. It's the only release they ever had on 45. And from what I hear, they had no distribution. So the only way that you could get this 45 originally was for a Black Panther to hand it to you. You know, so, you know, I bought this one, and that one went on the wall, right? This is my Blue Flowers Dr. Octagon picture disc that I just thought was, you know, worthy of being put up on the wall. Dr. Octagon is bugged out, so that one goes up on the wall. This poster, this is the Vinyl Frontier. This is a record show hosted by my man, or put on by my man, DJ Sweet Chuck, hosted by DJ Artistic, and this was a show that I played. This was the first Vinyl Frontier, and the interesting thing about it is I didn't know, but I get there and notice that on the same bill, playing with me were some friends of mine. So, you know, shout out to DJ Psycho, DJ Mata, DJ Inform. That was a good day. DJ Long Time. So it was kind of fun playing with my friends, and it was a good day. Right here we got my picture with when I went on a Hush tour, when I visited New York and went to 1520 Cedric Avenue, and I took a picture with Grand Wizard Theodore. And cool brother, man. We had lunch together, and we talked, and it was a good day. This, you know, I always hear everybody talk about the first record that they ever bought. This is the first record that I ever bought. I bought it when it came out in 1972 or 3, and it's Joe Tex, I Gotcha. I know it's not a rare record or anything like that, but this record, when I was a kid, when we were playing football or whatever, if we were playing tag or whatever, this song was a catchphrase. I gotcha, thought you'd get away now, didn't you? So we used to always say that. So when that record came out, I bought that record because that was one that we just, as kids, we always listened to. And over in this corner here, this is a UK pressing of The Message, and I thought that one was real cool because it has the lyrics to The Message on the cover. The Message, in my opinion, is the most important, you know, rap record, hip hop record that has ever come out. It really, you know, changed things. Okay, that one, The Message, still to this day is one of my favorite records. And up here, we've got the 5 records that make up the Futura piece. Okay, so they're on celluloid. Most of them are on celluloid. I think one of them is on Charlie Records, but I didn't know this originally because I didn't have them. I just had a couple, but then I was later informed that there are others that once you can connect them, they make a piece. So I got all those, and fortunately, a friend of mine went to Comic-Con, and he had Futura hit up my album cover. So that's, you know, real cool. And let's see, these records here, these are pretty much records that I'm going through, you know, to see if I can, you know, if I want them. They were a gift, you know, my cousin Barry gave them to me, and I'm still pulling records, still listening, and slide them over to my collection. I got some 45s here. I got my my San Diego hip hop, Dag Savage, and you know, these Locale with Eclipse, Benny Herron, Cut Father, rest in peace. San Diego legend right there. Few other, Mad Joker, you know, this is San Diego local hip hop. And my 45. So down here, I've got, this is sort of random, like comedy and things like that. This is hip hop compilations where I can't, you know, put them under one artist. So these are just hip hop comps. Right here are the end of my soul comps. So these are all soul comps, ultimate breaks and beats and stuff like that. Super disco breaks are in there, which is kind of cool. Let's take a look at my collection. Oh, I can't forget my box, right? So this is a box that, record box that Get On Down put out. I don't remember when they put it out, but apparently it was a limited run, and I grabbed one of these boxes. I don't use it. I just keep it, you know, because I'm a big Jean-Michel Basquiat fan. So I got that box there. It's kind of cool. So here are my records. This is the bulk of my collection right here. And it's alphabetized. But I did something a little bit different. I don't know how, you know, people have a different way of organizing their records. And I got it pretty much by genre, but alphabetized. So, but what I did, at one time I had all my hip hop up top alphabetized. And then I had everything else alphabetized. But I decided that what I would do is I would alphabetize, but I would mix everything up in alphabetical order. But what I did is all my hip hop A section is pushed back. Everything else A's are forward. So this is A's, these are A's. This is the hip hop. This is B hip hop from here to here with all the beat nuts and all that. And then the B section for the soul and funk, so all the James Brown and all that stuff is in here, and you know, everything B. And you know, we got the C section, you know, Cannibal Ox and Company Flow and all that. And so it goes out all the way down. So, you know, if ever I'm looking for hip hop, I know that it's back, push back, okay? And everything else, the R&B, funk, soul, jazz, whatever that is, it's pulled forward. So that makes it easier for me. And it also makes it so I don't neglect records and sort of lose them. It's like I usually, you know, touch everything at some point. You know, before I would just kind of stay up in the hip hop section and not mess with my other records. But now that it's like this, stuff seems to me a little bit more accessible. So here, around here, okay, here's here's a record that I really am happy that I bought. This is the soundtrack to The Spook Who Sat by the Door, Herbie Hancock. And I went to see Herbie Hancock with Kamasi Washington, and I wanted to get him to sign it, but unfortunately I wasn't able to meet him. But next time, okay? So down here we got, this is Latin and African, and then we got soundtracks. You know, I even got, you know, a Hamilton soundtrack that I bought when I went to go see the play in New York. And then, you know, I got my Black History, my revolutionary stuff, gospel, and then here's where the comps start, and here's where the comps end. And, you know, I got my Fat Boys pizza box, rest in peace to Buff and Marky D. And here, this section here, these are my my revolutionary stuff. Also included in this are all of my records on Black Forum, which I'll talk about later, probably in another video, but because I think that these could have a video unto themselves. The Motown subsidiary called Black Forum is right there. So, I think that about covers it for the record room. Now I'm going to sit down, and I pulled out some important records. Some on the rare side. Not all of them are on the rare side, but they're just records that I'm proud to have. Some test presses or white labels or whatever. Ones that, and you know, there's some stories attached to some of them that I'd like to share with you. So let's get to them. Okay, the first one that I want to talk about is this record here. This record is was put out by Urban London Records, and it's titled Rap Archives Legends. And the interesting thing about this record is it's comprised of live jams that just in the club. So the sound on all of them aren't that great, but it's really an historic piece. It's got the Kumo D Busy Bee battle. It's got like Zulu Nation Anniversary. It's got DJ Cheese, you know, cutting up Good Times, Master Don, Kumo D and Tila Rock. It's got a version of Lottie Dottie, Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh. It's got a Biz Markie and Big Daddy Kane live performance. So this is a record that's fairly cheap. You can still find it out there, but this is a real historic piece. So, you know, check this one out, okay? Next, this one is, you know, I wrote 1980. Yeah, this is 1980. This is a record called How We're Gonna Make a Black Nation Rise, and it's on the Clappers label, and it's by Brother D with the Collective Effort. And the track is To Be Real, and it's a positive, you know, rhyme. I first heard this on a tape, and I didn't know who it was, but it's a good, like, boogie disco type of record. You know, it's a good record, good solid record. I like early hip hop, you know, 79, 80, you know, early 80s. I like that vibe, that party vibe, you know, cats trading off the mic. This is a soloist with, you know, some background people. How You Gonna Make a Black Nation Rise. This is a good record. This one, this is Showbiz and AG Test Press Next Level. This was actually a gift. My wife bought this for me for my birthday. She bought it from Soul Shack Records, so shout out to Soul Shack. But this is, I'm a big Showbiz and AG fan, and this is, I like Next Level, and this is a test press, so I was happy to add that one to the collection. Okay, so before, like I said, Just Ice Back to the Old School is one of my favorite hip-hop records, and this is the test press for Back to the Old School. And a couple of interesting things about this record. One is it was it's signed by Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps. Okay, so this came from his collection, I'm told, you know. But the funny story about this record is I wasn't shopping on eBay, and when I finally did, I had put this, you know, on the want list or something, or I don't know. I always check for Just Ice because I don't even think I may have had the original pressing already, but I didn't have the test press, and I was searching, and one day I find the test press on eBay. So it was expensive for me at the time. I think it was like $100. So I wanted the record, and I actually, you know, hit the buy now or whatever for $100, but I hit it before I had looked at dude's feedback. So I look at dude's feedback after I hit, you know, that I'm going to pay, and he had a lot of negative feedback. Like, he wasn't sending records off. People were complaining. They didn't get it. They didn't get it. They didn't get it. So I sent an email to dude, and I said, hey, you know, listen, I was straightforward. You know, I just wanted to be sure that if I sent my money off, I was going to get the record. And apparently he didn't like my tone. And, you know, I'm kind of monotone. He didn't, I was pretty straightforward or whatever. But anyway, he ends up blocking me. He's like, then boom, you can't get the record. And so first I was like, whatever. But then I'm thinking, man, I want that record. So I ended up going, calling my man up. I told him about the record, told him to buy it. He bought it, and I bought it off him. So, you know, the dude shipped it to dude, and I went and bought it off my man. I wanted to send him a picture, like I still got it, but I didn't do that. You know, it's kind of petty, but I got the record anyway. So Just Eyes back to the old school test press. Okay, this is a cool record. This one is called Freestyle, and it's Planet Rock beat, but it's a Nike commercial where, you know, the sample is basketballs bouncing off the hardwood and sneakers squeaking off the hardwood, making the Planet Rock beat. So it's double-sided, promo only, called Freestyle, and it's a dope record, real interesting. You know, Planet Rock, but with basketball and sneakers. There's a video for it, right? The video is dope too. But yeah, this is the record that comes off the video. So check it out. Like if you go on YouTube or whatever, just check out Nike commercial hydraulic funk, and it's called Freestyle. It's a dope video. Check it. Okay, this is a test press of Jazzy Sensation. So this is a white label test press of that record. This is, I believe it's the first record that Bambaata's name is credited on, and it's the Jazzy Jazzy Sensation. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? So that's what this is, right? Jazzy Sensation test press. This record, my goodness. Okay, so I'm surprised this one got by me when it came out, right? So, you know, We Will Rock You is just a monster. I love that record. But this one is We Will Rock You, ruined by Rick Rubin. So Rick Rubin remixed We Will Rock You, and he used other breaks on this break to make it better. I mean, he murdered it with this record. This is it's on Hollywood Basic, and is it a promo? I don't know. It might. I don't know. But anyway, We Will Rock You by Queen, remixed by Rick Rubin, came out in '91. Definitely check this one out. It's crazy. It's crazy. In this record, right? This is Akinelli, and you know, if you know who Akinelli is, he did Put It in Your Mouth, and just crazy. I've always liked Akinelli. He's wild, but this record here, this one, it was actually it was released. It was finally released. This particular record is called Break a Bitch Neck. And I remember my man told me about this, and he's like, man, it's like the most rude, unreleasable. It's just rude. It's rude, okay, but it's dope. So there's two mixes on this one. This one is the Japanese bootleg. So on one side it's got the original, and on the other side it's got the remix, a Large Professor remix, which is my favorite one. But yeah, Akinelli. This got put out. Matter of fact, I've got the record, the Akinelli record called Music Kills, and Break a Bitch Neck is on there. And as a matter of fact, I think that Akinelli record is it's fairly reasonably priced and kind of slept on, in my opinion. That whole record is dope, right? So Akinelli, Music Kills. But this one is a little tougher to get. This is the Japanese bootleg of Break a Bitch Neck. That one's dope. This is probably, I always say this, I probably said this like 3-4 times already. This is one of my favorite records, right? So this is a Bozo Miko. On side A, The Bridge Is Over, radio, instrumental, and X-rated version. But on this side, on the B side, it's got Brazilian Rhyme and Spread Love and Fence Walk. And rumor has it that it's 45 King mixes. So Brazilian Rhyme by Earth, Wind & Fire, that's already, a dope joint. But with the beat, yeah, 45 King. and Spread Love, because Spread Love is a beautiful a cappella, but it's funky with the beat though. That's the way to have it. And this is I don't know, it's kind of difficult to get. I lost this record. I played out with this record and I put it in the wrong sleeve, and I came home and unpacked, and I think I lost this record for about like 4 months. I was looking for it and I knew it was in the wrong sleeve, but I didn't know which sleeve it was in. And so I had to just basically start from A and go through until I finally found it. So yeah, Bozo Miko, Brazilian Rhyme, Spread Love, and Fence Walk. This record, I heard this one. This one is called We Rap More Mellow, Younger Generation. Shout out to Jaquan. He talked about this on one of his early rap record videos. This one came out, I want to say 1979. The Younger Generation. I had this on a cassette, and I thought it was a typo on the cassette because it said Younger Generation, but I knew it was the Furious Five, Melly Mel and them. So this is 1979, We Rap More Mellow. They're trading off on the mic, classic style. This is on Brass Records. So this is a promo of that one, of We Rap More Mellow by the Younger Generation, which is actually the Furious Five. And because of my, completist mentality, I wanted the other Brass record, which is the Marvelous Three and the Younger Generation, called Rappin' All Over. This is not an original press. This is a reissue. The original press is pretty rare, I understand. But I got it because, this is such a good record. This one has Smalls, DJ AJ, and Busy B rhyming on this one. And, classic trading off the mic type stuff. I want to say 1980, maybe? Let's see. I'm not sure. It's early 80s though, if not 80, early 80s. So this one is the Marvelous Three and the Younger Generation Rapping All Over. Okay, if you watch the Crate Diggers episodes, on the Fuse Crate Diggers episodes, DJ Scratch, he talks about the Run DMC voicing the Beastie Boys record Slow and Low. That's what this is. This is number 191 out of 200. It's got Slow and Low, and it's also got a brilliant Black History joint by Run DMC called Black History. And it's funny because when I was on social media, I posted this song for Black History Month, and my mother, she said, hey, you put a record on there, you shared something that, some record, I really like it a lot, this Black History, and Run DMC do a wonderful job at just informing, everybody about, Black people who have, had a significant impact in the United States in, everything from, science to technology to sports to agriculture to, so this is a really solid record. It's Black History and Slow and Low, Run DMC, white label. It's a dope record. And I'm a big, hip hop history type dude. And these are my two DJ Hollywood records. So one of them is Hollywood's Message, where he's rhyming over Love is a Message by MFSB. And then there's this one called Hollywood's World, where he uses Ike's Mood, I believe it is. And this one I had heard on a tape. And I didn't know, at the time, I didn't know that it was DJ Hollywood. I think I heard it probably in the 80s. And I didn't know who DJ Hollywood was, but I was always looking for this. And then Biz Markie did something with it, and he played it on a mix, and I realized, I later found out that it was DJ Hollywood, and, learning about who DJ Hollywood was and his significance in hip hop and early hip hop, I had to have it. So yeah, DJ Hollywood on Abdullah Akbar Records. And this one is on HIKIM, Ali Records. So Hollywood's Message and Hollywood's World. I think I bought both of these at A1 Records in New York. So that's kind of significant to me too. This record is the legendary Cold Crush and Fantastic Romantic 5 Battle at the Harlem World, 1981. So this is a later pressing. Charlie Chase put this out, the DJ for the Cold Crush Brothers. He put this out, and he cleaned it up, and made the beats punchier and clarified the vocals, a bit, made it, clearer, so that is a good one. This one is actually, not difficult to find, and I think it's a piece of history, so I think that everybody who's into hip hop should know the Cold Crush and Fantastic Battle, and they should know the Busy Bee Kumo D battle. Like I showed in the first record, has that on there. You need that battle, you need this battle. Okay, so this is the Fantastic and the Cold Crush. I actually went to Crotona Park, and it was raining, and so I didn't take my record, and it cleared up, and I went and I kind of kicked myself because Charlie Chase was there, and Kaz was there, and I didn't have him, sign my record. But actually, this is the one that I, would have preferred them sign. This one is called Born in the Bronx. And this is the same battle, but this one isn't cleaned up. This is just the raw version. And it's also got, in this record, it's got photos by Joe Conzo of Cold Crush. And this one is a good record, man. This is the one. I think this was released for like a tour that they did, a photo tour, and then they pressed the record up, and it's a limited pressing. So that one is the Cold Crush Fantastic Battle too. And this one, it was funny. This one here, this Liquid, I got this one and I liked it. I like it. It's got Cavern on there, what was sampled for White Lines. But this one is the Mo Wax version, and it's got a remix of Cavern by Dave Paul, who I believe is a San Francisco, legendary San Francisco DJ. He did a remix of Cavern, but he samples a lot of stuff on here. I think it starts off with a Crazy Legs sample, and he throws everything in there. He throws everything on top of the Cavern beat, and it's dope. It's called Let's Hear It for the B-Boy. So this one is out of the UK, the Mo Wax version promo. So this one never came out on a commercial press, but it is Cavern, right? But this is the promo. Next, Ultramagnetic. Okay, this is the original. This is the first record that Ultramagnetic came out with. I have everything that Ultramagnetic put out. Probably, they put out a lot. So on Tough City, I grabbed up everything, and all that other stuff, the stuff on Black Pegasus, the 45s I grabbed up. I have like it's a fake acetate or whatever of the Chuck Chill Out joint, but every Ultramagnetic record, to me, Said G is one of my favorite producers. He's just so ill, just so unorthodox with his production. But this is the first record that Ultramagnetic came out with, Make You Shake. So I thought, see, the first copy of this I bought was actually the reissue. The reissue and this original look the same except for the phone number. So the first one I bought, I think I bought it at Amoeba for $7.99, and so I knew it wasn't an original, but you know, later on I ended up finding the original. But it's not the same version that's on. I had the CD that I think is called the B-Sides compilation or something like that, and it's got a version of Make You Shake on there that's got crazy echo, and it's just a ridiculous joint. This isn't the same version of that. And so on the album of B-Sides, the vinyl, it's not even on there at all. Make You Shake isn't on there at all. It's only on the CD. And that's the version I wanted that was on the CD. And that version is available on a Tough City compilation. I think it's called Brotha or something like that. And it's got that Make You Shake on there. But this Make You Shake is different. This is a raw version. This is a real raw version of Make You Shake. Still dope. And on the other side, it's got To Give You Love. But this is their first record. So that's dope. This one here is for anybody who knows who, you know, the legendary Paul C was, who was tragically killed, but he was a Queen's producer, and he had a lot of influence with Said G, Large Professor, and them dudes. But this is a record called Welcome to Dope Land EP, Kevin B, all produced by Paul C. This is a test press. It's funny because I've never seen a clear test press. They call it a test press, and it says that this is there's only 12 copies of this got pressed up, and I got one of them. So that's kind of funny if it's true. 12 copies of the clear test press of Kevin B. Welcome to Dope Land. Okay, now I'm gonna get local. This is LPSD test press for Back At Ya. Shout out to Steven Flex and King D, Black Ran, and Leo. This is a San Diego classic. People go nuts when this record gets played at the club. It's a dope record, and the video is ill too. You gotta check out the video for Back At Ya by LPSD. It's an ill video. But this record is the test press for that. And I've got several copies, not of the test press, but I've got several copies. I got the red one, the black one, the EP. You know, all the LPSD stuff I try to grab up. But this is my favorite. And one day I'll catch up with my brothers and have them sign this for me. All right? LPSD. And this one is a San Diego classic. Gangsta Earn, Up Against It, okay? So I believe he was killed maybe in the 90s, I think. But this is his sole release. This is the only thing that he released. And funny thing about this record, how I came to own this record. So one morning I went to the swap meet. I get there 7 o'clock, and I head to the back, and I see people I know. I recognize people, and people are clamoring. The crates are all out, and people, I could just see, you know, that everybody was excited. People are like, you know, ooh, you know. So everybody, you know, I don't know why, everybody was on one side working toward me. So I got on the back side and started working toward them because there was like more room. So the first crate that I pulled toward me to go through, this was like the second record. And so I'm like, oh man. And then next record. So what I had done is I had hit a pocket of a DJ, San Diego DJ named King Arthur. All of them said King Arthur on them, all the records. So I kid you not, I had $40 in my pocket, and I bought 40 records at $1 a piece. And you know, I don't think I could have even hit the 18. I think I was broke. I think I had like $40. That was my limit, and I bought 40 records. So I was in there and out of there in 10 minutes. and I couldn't even go through all the rest, but there were so many people, I knew I couldn't come back. People were going to go through it. But this record was in there. 2 copies of this record were in there, and I traded one. Green Eyes was in there. Prime Suspect was in there. A lot of like San Diego, you know, classic hip hop records. But the Gangsta Irwin, you know, that's the one a lot of people are after. So I'm happy to have this one in my collection. And then, you know, my second home, Bay Area. This is a test pressing of Don't Give Me No Bammer by RBL Posse. This record is, you know, it's one that everybody in the Bay Area knows. These dudes are, you know, Hunters Point legends. Don't Give Me No Bammer, test press. Now this one is a favorite of mine. This is the 7 record set of Ramellzee. It's called Cosmic Flush. This was put out in the UK, and it's got, you know, 7 12 inches remixed. I think there's like two versions. There's like a remix version and like an original version. This came out probably, I think, in the 2000s or something like that. You know, limited pressings, I think, you know, 250 or something like that. But this one, it was funny because I saw this on Discogs and I wanted it, and there was never any for sale. Then one comes up for sale, and in the description, and it was a good price. I think, you know, I was expecting to pay a little bit more, but I think he was asking $50. So I'm thinking, okay, that's a good price. But in the description, it said all 6 records are in mint condition. So I'm thinking 6, like it's supposed to be a 7 record set. So I emailed dude and I said, hey, is it 6 records or is it 7 records? And he said, well, I'm not at the shop, but when I get to the shop, I'll check. I'll let you know. But I'm thinking, okay, this record hasn't popped up before, and now it's there. If I wait, somebody's going to get it, and it won't matter if it's 6 or 7. So I bought it, right? So I bought it. So I guess because I bought it, paid for it, he didn't feel the need to tell me whether or not it was complete. So he sends it to me, I get it, and it's only 6 records in it. And the record that's missing is this one, the one that's on my wall that I showed you earlier, right? This one is called, this is Futura artwork, and it's called Year of the Ram. So people have been selling this record by itself for, you know, serious bread. Okay, I don't know. That's what it's going for, a lot. I don't know what it's selling for. It kind of has a crazy range on it, from cheap to expensive. So, you know, I've since found another copy of the box set here in the States, so I didn't have to pay a lot for shipping. So I got two of these box sets. So, you know, one of these copies of this 12 is on my wall, and the other one is right here. So this is, you know, like I said, I grab all the Ramellzee stuff. Anything that comes out from Ramellzee, I'm gonna get, right? So this is one of the box sets, one of the 2 box sets that I have by Ramellzee. This is one that I really enjoy. So with that said, I'm done with my first installation of record discussions. So let me know what you think. Talk to me. You know, I'll do another one. I can't wait to do another one, because since the pandemic, I've not been able to talk records with as many people as much as I like. So this way I can still do that, and give me some feedback. Let me know what you know, and I look forward to seeing everybody soon. All right, peace. Brother James, SD.